Great morning, everyone, and welcome to Trading with OC just in Piper Academy. So, guys, hopefully you guys have a wonderful Friday. Hopefully you guys have plans, even if that means chilling out. For me, I'm gonna be chilling out a little bit, but also working throughout home. As always, I'm gonna be looking for maybe some trade ups. I do expect that we might have some reaction from Bitcoin on Sunday. So what I'm gonna be doing throughout Saturday, I would go maybe Saturday night, somewhere around, I don't know, somewhere around 8 p.m., something like that, and start looking at how the markets are looking. But in the meantime, let me shout out you guys because you guys are the most important part of the show. So welcome to the Darron Cabrera. How is it going, my friend? Welcome. By the way, guys, have anyone seen the Queen mode? So is she okay? Please let me know. By the way, if you're listening, we miss you. Hopefully you're doing great, or maybe just a minor sickness or something, maybe just a flu or something. But other than that, we miss you, my friend. Hopefully you can come around soon. Donato Cabrera, welcome. KDGT, what is up, brother? Welcome. JR, how's it going, my friend? My plans hanging out with OC. That's fantastic. Maybe we can do some gaming. We can see. Hey, Melissa, how's it going, Melissa? Great to have you around. Great. Thanks so much for joining. And in the meantime, while everybody else joins, let's go and take a look at the charts because, oh my God, man. Remember that intention trade that we took? Ooh, well, that we didn't took. Remember that? Well then, oh man, it's just killing me. Let's go and watch it because it actually played out fantastic. Let's go to the charts. All right, remember, we were looking into the charts, right? And looking in between a couple of coins, seeing which one had the best setup. And in those, well, we needed to choose from one to another. Remember, we were doing quarter or half up positions. We were starting to dip our toes because we know we are bearish. So going long in a bearish trend might not be the most intelligent thing to do. But of course that we understand that they are cycles within the trend, right? It goes low, then it needs to retrace up, right? Not that far up, and then going back down. So we take advantage of longing those itty bitty movement to the upside in the bear market and shorting a much stronger trend to the downside, all right? So let's take a look at here. So this was, and remember, this was an intention trade. We already had take one of those, right? So an actual trade, basically just at the end of the class. What happened? Well, then we cannot just go crazy and allocate everything at the same time because yesterday I was pretty stoked. I was very excited and I wanted to long every single thing because for me, it looked oversold, right? And guess what? It absolutely was oversold, brother. So, or sister. I mean, Califan, welcome, Califan. Nice to have you around. A little bit made it. Absolutely, Califan. The great thing is that you made it. Don't worry. So what's happening here? If we would have entered here, we already have been on profits. We're riding across that trend line. If for some reason you took this trade, great. It's time to take some profits. Again, not financial advice, just letting you know what would I be doing. All right. Other than that, let me just get rid of this. All right. Let's also get rid of this. And well, you know, we are riding on that trend line. The next thing is going to be waiting. So what are we going to be waiting for? At this point, I want to see one or two more candles and see if we're going to be flipping. Most likely we're going to, maybe a little bit of a fake out and then a possible continuation. We're still very bearish. And our consolidation score, it is low, which means no consolidation just now. All right. So far, I'm thinking that we can go lower. The only thing that I'm not liking about this, or I am liking, to be honest, it is the fact that, let me do this thing here, we did not went that far down. So this could actually become a double bottom. So, all right, what's going to happen if we short and it goes the other way around? That's why we're just dipping our toes, so short position. a little bit higher. I'm going to be trying to call it out. I'm going to be aiming for the previous lows, and my stop loss is going to be right here. I'm going to be letting it stop me out for 1/4 of a position, all right? And then if it goes higher, if it goes to dynamic reactor, and let me adjust my alert in here, so slightly below, right, the previous highs in here, right? In fact, let's go slightly lower. So if it stopped me out, that'll be all right. I want to be above the zero line, like very high up, all right? If that happens, well, then I could be counting on the next flip of the ribbon here, and therefore the next flip of the ribbon maybe here, creating an actual higher low. All right, and I'm going so deep in here because that's what I had this predictive range. But let's see if we have something else that could be leading me, right, to take maybe an earlier short or earlier long, something around those areas. So let's complete our analysis before we go jamming on that entry. All right, so let's see. So far, market oracle, let's see, yes, our SME combo still very high up in here. Still all right, right? What else? RTMs, but not where we want them to see right now. Nothing that we can use. All right, this is it. So we do have a support, right? If we go, oh, let's lock that one. All right, let's lock that one. Let me, not sure. I think I want to sneeze. I think it's gone away. Man, I hate when that happened. Killer fan, what is up? I don't know if you already shouted you out, but Coffin, thank you for joining. If I have so, double shout out. Frank the Tank, what is up, brother? Welcome. Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by, brother. All right, so I was saying, if we go higher to dynamic reactor, all right, our retracement then, it's going to be right there. Remember that previously, because I have my predictive ranges turned on, I was aiming much lower, all right? But this actually makes much more sense. And I don't know if you guessed it, but we can see how much sense it makes and let me just hide this for a second. Hide, all right. By just measuring the movement from the movement body all the way to the previous zone where I believe we're gonna get to the dynamic reactor, right? So what are we looking for? Half of an entry or half retracement or 1/3 retracement, all right? So as you can see, it makes much more sense that we bounce either here or somewhere in between, right? Then we go much lower. So perfect. It seems like we are spot on so far. So let me just get rid of this. Perfect. That's what we're going to be looking for. Any of two. If we break with strength, we're going to be looking for an earlier retracement for then assume that this is a double bottom and then creating a higher low. If we barely break, right, we're going to be going lower, TP number 1 in the previous lows. TP number 2, I'm going to be aiming a little bit lower, somewhere between this predictive range and the next support, right? So other than that, I think we got it figured out. I'm going to be adding this one in case we reject. And this rejection should be happening right here with this zone, all right? So let me do something really quick. So let's do this purple, all right, with this purple. And then let me see if I can do that. All right, yeah, I think so. Let's do this one in here. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's do, I don't know, blue. Yeah, blue. I think that would be it's a cool color there, right? And then let's do with this retracement right there. Perfect. I think we got it. And of course, we're gonna be adding a alert. In fact, I think I already have it. Yep, we already have it. We just need to lock it. And perfect. I think we are covered for now. So who else we have? Jay Violet. Hey, what's up? What's up, Jay Violet? Welcome. Great to have you here. Nice. Great surprise. All right. So let's see. What else do we have in here? Let's go over other ones that we looked into. Let's go for Bitcoin. How is Bitcoin playing out? Well then, haha, fantastic, right? I mean, this is just like we were expecting. Perfect. Shout out to you guys. I mean, this is a very nice play. Something that is happening right now, we are finding a rejection in here. All right. What's going on with that rejection? Almost there, but we're turning blue. So we need to be careful in this one. What could it happen here? It's a retracement to the support. Remember, we're closing back inside or above that neckline. All right. That means that if we are able to reverse, which I believe that we could, by just doing a little bit of a goose head and then something like that, right? Let me show you how would that look like. Something like this, all right? Look at like that, all right? Look like that. Na, 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 na. All right, basically looking at something like that. We could be going much higher, and basically considering this a fake out. Today in the morning, I was talking with Alex of Crypto, right? We had a show, and in the 4 hours, this is looking a little bit kind of like indecision, right? He is very bullish, right? And that's perfect. In fact, we could be having a sweep of the lows, right? Which usually is going to be ending up breaking out, retesting, off we go, so much more higher, right? And if that is the case, and let me just remove most of this thing, all right? If we break from now, which I don't think so, because there's two things going on. Let me just move this out of the way. All right, if we break from right now, well then that's going to be a breakout. We still have the breakout, taking previous highs, going to the next important highs in here. It doesn't matter if we break them or not. And then we need to put in here maybe a higher low like that or a higher low like that. So we're going to be looking at this ballpark for retracement, right? And then for the continuation, this will be your major entry, right? So your one full position entry. In the meantime, we're just looking and trying to trade what the market is giving us. Remember, this is a high volatility. That's why we're just trying to dip our toes with quarter of a position, half of a position, trailing down, right? Or laddering in. So that's how we're doing. We're trying to take advantage of what the market is giving us. Remember, guys, at this point, we are supposed to be already advanced traders, right? We already know how to do very intricate analysis, right? We know how to make smaller or basic analysis. We already know how to use simple indicators. We already have a strategy. We already know how to use complex indicators, right? And not only that, we build from scratch, right, our own oscillator, our own free oscillator out of two other indicators. We know how to read it. And also we build from scratch our free SMA combo, which is our dynamic reactor version of the dynamic reactor. All right. So at this point, remember, we are classified, or I think that we could be classified ourselves as advanced traders, right? We know how to identify these kind of pullbacks. Yes, sometimes we get hit, but remember, we took this entry here. We did not take the retracement. We tried to take one in here. It did actually got us. That's fine. That was a stop loss out of two trades, and then one up in here, plus the other one, Ethereum, very nicely taken, right? Lycon, we did not take it, but I think that was a very good analysis, right? So knowing that we are advanced traders, that is why I'm pushing to do more intricate analysis and trying to squeeze as much juice as the market will give us, all right? But if you want to be a little bit more conservative, that's completely fine. Remember, that's why we are having these practice rounds. So you can see how I go about it, both in the macro movement and also in the more intricate movement. So you can start grabbing some more confidence and put in practice everything that we have learned so far, right? So next time that you're alone, well, then you're not scared of taking the trade because you know the risks that are involved, you know where to set up your stop loss, and you know when to look for that reversal. Stay calm, right? Stay in track and take a lot of fun and pleasure while trading, right? So let's see. Chat Master Mornings, welcome. I haven't seen you around, my friend, but hey, Shit, the Mary. Wait. Let me try it one more time. I mean, I did. I promise I will get your name right. Symmetric. Deal it? I guess. Fine. I think so. Give me the thumbs up if I did. Give me the thumbs down if I didn't. I'm very eager to see your response. Hello, by the way. Who else we got in here? What's up? Chatmaster, is there a like too many girls in here, or is it me? No, man. There's too many intelligent people around. So, yeah. All right, let's get it. Shimmy. All right, was that? You're getting the lady, bro. All right. Let's cool off. We're here to trade the markets. All right. Let's see what else we have in here. Shaik, symmetric, but it says symmetric. Shaik. I don't know. Symmetric shake. No. Oh, I got it. You give me the great thing. Perfect. All right. So, what's going to be the possibilities in here? We need to talk about that, right? One of the possibilities in here is that we do not make it through here, or if we do, because we're getting into the market. Come on, my brain. We're going into the weekend. Weekend usually involves what? What does weekend usually tells us about volume? Let me know. Let me read you. Yep, absolutely. Low volume, right? So low volume is usually what it gave us throughout the weekend. Exactly. And well, maybe we could be expecting a fake out in here. Maybe a retracement, right? Remember, we still have that support, maybe going up, maybe then like a fake out breakout, or maybe such a lame and slow breakout that the actual push through might be even lower, right? Remember that we have a special zone, all right? In that special zone, it is the measurement of the whole movement in here to our what? Daily dynamic reactor, right? Let's see if I got it in here. Yep, that's it. And where are we aiming to? We're aiming to 97-ish. Remember that this is not new, right? We still have our support zones, right? Right here and right here. And then, what is the main area of support that we're looking into? The 50% line. So around 97. And also because we have this important zone, and also that's where our dynamic reactor is, somewhere around 93. All right? So those are going to be the major areas for support, which is not going to be that big of a deal if we take a look at this kind of retracements. Even this kind of retracement. Let's just measure it, man, because, oh, shoot. I don't know, what did I just moved? Whatever. For example, let me just get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, and then just measure one of those movements, right? Oops. Like that. We grab it, and look at that. We could absolutely go there, not even breaking a sweat, all right? So the point is that this could still be bearish. In fact, look at that. We are bearish, a little bit bearish. There's some light right now at the end of the tunnel. And what is that light? That reversal that we're seeing. Look at when that reversal played out. It was already moving upwards. So that reversal played out in here. The candle closed. So we retrace a little bit, right? And then off we go. So what could we be seeing here? We are retracing already to the upside, having that reversal. So we could also going for the breakout, retest, double top, and then retracement. I know this is a little bit of a ride, right? I'm telling you first, short and long. Well, then we have a possibility for a dead cat bounce, now double top. So what does that mean? Remember morphology. At this point, we don't know what the next step is going to be. So we are exploring what it could become, right? So we already have taken or talked about three things. First, let's go from the latest to the oldest, the double top. All right. If the double top it's good, we're gonna be going from where we started right now, with a little bit of a hiccup to re-enter, maybe something like that. All right, and then all the way to 113, 120 to make the double top. All right. Remember at this point that we need to take early profits somewhere around here because we have an interest zone. Not only because of that, let's bring this up. Oh, it's slightly above there. All right, right here, our resistance. We have a resistance. What else do we have in there? Not much, just that resistance seems to, well, two of those, right? One overlapping the other one, which is cool. And that's it. So TP number 1, TP number 2, and the rest is trailing. Because we don't know if we're going to get the dead cat bounce to 93 or 90 or 100, all right, to 97. And then if we do, I think this is going to be our opportunity, all right, to, well, of course, not only up, but do something like that. And then we're going to get our all-time highs, right? So far, I think we have gone through all of the 3 versions. So first double top, right? That's our end point for the best case scenario. Then the first flopping here, so basically this is just a retracement for a continuation downwards. That's the second. And the third one will be a slight higher dead cat bounce that will take us all the way to 93, 97. All right. So how do we trade it? For that, we need to go to the 4-hour. Perfect. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. What are we seeing coming to the weekend? Low volume, low momentum, low strength. So we have low strength on going up. That means what? They're canceling each other, right? So that is range, right? Or slightly going up. So going up with no strength, something like that. Look at that, no strength on going up, slightly moving upwards, right? Because it doesn't have strength, but it's bullish, all right? So that's what I'm seeing in there. So far, we need to be careful here unless, let me zoom in here, this is daily, let's go to 4-hour, unless we see, and I think we're gonna be seeing it close enough, right? Unless we still now making a reversal diamond and then going up with strength. Let's go to the daily one more time, because on the daily, we are flat, but we're pushing to the upside on strength. We don't quite yet have peak performance, right? And at this point, who cares? Because we could be looking at not a peak performance zone. Guys, I completely forgot about something that we removed when we created this oscillator, right? Let me go to a less perfect clutter zone. This is what I'm about to turn on. It is part of the oscillator goodies, all right? Remember, it is a free indicator, but I did kind of like a remember it today on another Discord that I was giving a class, right? And I want to share it with you. We turned it off on purpose, remember that, right? But if we go to plot, look at what we got. We got support and resistance based on the pivot reversals on this one. So you see that? Nice. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. And what are we having here? Ooh, not good. But also, remember that this could act as a resistance. All right? So far, what I'm going to be looking for, it is another one of those somewhere around here that will indicate me that the bearishness is over and I then could start going upwards, all right? So what is this telling me? The bullishness is over and now we're going to be going downwards, all right? So be aware of that. There's another tool that we can turn on our oscillator. Man, I'm telling you, this oscillator is just pure gold. It's one of those oscillators that I would say they should be paid indicators, but they're free. So take advantage of them. So let's go in plain label. So what we have in here, it is just the reversals that we see on peak performance. All right. Right here. So usually when we see a peak performance, we're going to be seeing very close a reversal, right? Then we have another set of levels in here, right? Reaction levels and invalidation levels. So what's going to be the invalidation level if we go below that invalidation level? All right, so that's why, easily explained, if we get above this short, right, would be mostly invalidated. But also, if we don't make it above that, if we just retrace out of that as a resistance, this is going to be the dead cat bounce that we were talking about. Because what? Just like changing of trend, right? What is our invalidation level right there? And what happened? We were not able to put a higher high and then a higher low. You see, we broke it. We kind of like broke it, but we need not retasted it. You see that? So yeah, the first one, rejection, perfect, but we still put a higher low. The next one should have been higher, so the retracement would have acted as a support, but it didn't. So what happened? We created that low, equal low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So this is just a change of direction. So let's see it right here. How would in this case could be playing out if we go up and we bounce up this? Well, then we're gonna be creating another line for a downtrend scenario. Still, this is unknown, right? Especially now that, let me just move this out of the way. Oh, come on, don't tell me. Yeah, perfect, much better. Especially now that we could be grabbing or getting some strength on the bearishness. All right, so be careful. I would recommend keeping these ones on in one template and maybe off on another one, right? So what we could do is duplicate this and then keep those on the duplication, turn on, and then on the non-duplicated, turn it off so we can add them or remove them. So far for me, I'm gonna just turn them off for now. So those gonna be plots and pain levels. Here we go. So that's what I got. All right, let's go. It's already half of the class. It's already 2:33 a.m., my friend. Oh God, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by the way. Thank you, my friend. All right, let's go and take a look at a couple of other assets. So far, just so we understand, we're bearish, all right? We just put a lower low. In this case, if we don't put a higher low, this is not redemption. So basically, what we are expecting to do something like that, slightly down, right? And then the redemption push through in the 4 hours for the best case scenario. But it's just not doing it, all right? Not at this point. You have this one and two. Curious. All right, perfect. That's it. Let's go take a look at a couple of other assets. I believe Ethereum is one of those. All right, we're still within the range. Let's go to the 4 hours. Nothing to fear. Same area that we were expecting. We're going high after the breakout here. Something that we could be having some peak performance. Hopefully, we have it before we highly reject. We are still within areas of rejection, which means we could still do a double bottom, right? Still bounce upwards, but be careful because this is not about the breakout. It's about your retest. In fact, this could be maybe within 1 or 2 more candles, a possible short scenario. What would I be expecting? Maybe going through this one and trading the breakout because I'm almost very close to peak performance, all right? So if for any reason I bounce up, I could be having something like that, all right? So a much brighter double bottom peak performance, right? That might be taking me to the next area of support, which is going to be right here at 2,253 to get started with, because that's where we have our loud order block, all right? But as you can see, to get to that order block, we need to break to this trend line, support, right? And we also have a loud order block that could be acting magnetically to our area here, or to our price action, to then break it out, all right? So regardless of what happens, I think we could be calling out for a possible long. Do we have an alert in here? No, we don't. Let's add an alert. Let me clear this up. a 1/4 long if we make it for that double bottom, all right? And then maybe looking for a possible short in here if we make it right there. By the way, if we are, let me bring out my other oscillator so you can see it. If we are bouncing off here and we made it up and we're bouncing at the same time, well then this could be going much lower, all right? So that's what we got for Yossi. Do you track 24 hours liquidation regarding it could be helpful? I don't track 20, like I don't go to the website, but look at this. Let me show you. Lately I haven't been using it that much, and that is because of the volatility that we have. I don't think that right now it's going to be that important because everything is kind of like ranging, waiting for Bitcoin to play it out something, right? All right, let me go to 4 hours. Let me turn this off, and right here I have liquidations. Let me turn it on, and I have my liquidations in here. So I usually go for, all right, what is easier, right? For market makers to push it down to liquidate these guys or to push it up to liquidate these guys. In this case, there's much more liquidity here to be grabbed fast, right? And then bounce up. And then look at this bunch up here and look at this bunch down here. So are we going back to 700? Right now, I don't think so. For now, I don't think so, right? Until we start losing this, and instead of redemption, we have rejection. When we have this rejection, I start looking into the 1,700. If not, my eyes are just looking at somewhere around 2,800 to 2,300, somewhere around that area. Hopefully that answers your question, Frank the Tank. Let me know if that did. If not, I'll try to explain it maybe better or give you a, or if I understand better the question, maybe give you the actual answer that you're looking for. Let's go and take a look at a couple of other coins, right? Let's go all the way down here. We have, let's take a look at, all right, let's take a look at Brent, which is oil. It's not looking that bad, all right? This is giving me some hopium, to be honest. Let me bring this up. Let me measure it. Well, let me try to measure it here. And then let me just push it here. So I believe that we keep going over somewhere, or higher, sorry, a little bit above here. And that is because I did see my oscillator pointing upwards. But we're also compressing, right? Compressing. So as we compress, we might be seeing that slightly moving to the upside. So as we compress, we might be seeing that slightly moving to the upside, all right? So start of compression, maybe having our first target somewhere around previous highs, 65 something, right? We're not dumping. We already have put up a double bottom in here. Look at that beautiful double bottom. That's nice. The story is not over just yet, right? We have put up a trend line up here, but we need to put up either an equal or higher high than here. As long as we don't put an equal or higher high from here, I think this is just a dead cat bounce, right? Or a range that is compressing, but it's gonna end up breaking to the downside. Hopefully it doesn't, because if we see price of oil products going stable, right? Or at least going upwards, we might be seeing more price of Bitcoin stabilizing or going even to the upside. Let's take a look at our alerts, because we hit a couple of those. Filecoin, well, what was the alert? And guess what? That played out fantastically. Filecoin crossing 96, 0.96. This is it. So we cross it at the way up. Perfect. Hitting the top, right? Rejection played out fantastically, right? So we're on track. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP, beautiful. All right. What we got? Oh, why do I don't know how to do Control-C on XRP or sorry, on a moved. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm getting sick. on a moved alert, because I think I just moved this alert. Let's push it in here. Quarter plus a quarter. That was a hedge trading. It played out very nicely. All right, at the top, bouncing, and look at what are we expecting. All right, so we are rejecting. We are on the edge of that rejection here. If we don't push through to create a temporary trend line in here, most likely we're going to reverse, and that reversal could be taking us back to a double bottom. So this one so far it's gone, and we can repeat that a little bit farther ahead. All right, so we'll see. If we bounce from here, we are still below the dynamic reactor. I need to see it breaking through the zero line. When that happens, I'm going to be long either the breakout or the breakout retest. All right, whatever happens first. I may be waiting for one candle retracement, just so you know. Frank, good stuff. No worries. Just seeking some thoughts, perception from someone else. Absolutely, my friend. Come with me. Come with me. Let me know. By the way, if you have any other question, feel free to ask them. I'm here to help, my friend. All right, let's take a look at what else. FTT. Dude, FTT, not for me, right? But it did went up and down here faster than, slower than I was expecting, going up in here, and maybe rejection. We still don't know, but we are still below here. In fact, I thought we might be able to break through. Not a chance. And at this point, I think we could be retracing. We need to be careful with this one. So not really taking it, just so you know. Remember, I told you that FTX, not for me at this point. Ethereum, already talked about Ethereum. Sinu, Horizon. Oh, Sen you. All right, Sen you. Horizon. Oh, love it. Man, I don't know why I read that horrifying name. All right. Let's go. And I do see something here. There is a trend line. There it is. With a fake out. And if I don't use the fake out, that's fine. I still have a threshold. So the point is that I could be having the threshold. I need to be aware that I could be then retracing. All right. So I might be able, let me see my oscillator before I speak too early. Yep. Seems like we are on bouncing zones. Seems about right. Maybe I can front run it. And almost there. All right, I'm going to be waiting 1 or 2 more candles. Maybe I can have that push through as I did in here. I think that would be a good idea. I don't have a reversal signal. Let's see, do I have any supports? All lower down there. So, yep, I'm going to be waiting. Smart money entry areas. Yep, I'm going to be waiting. Support and resistances. I'm on support, but there's another support. Yep, I'm going to be waiting before I enter in here. I want to have a higher prime score and, of course, a higher consolidation score. So prime score somewhere around 5 and consolidation score somewhere around 4 or 3. That will be all right. All right, guys. So that's what I got for today, right? Let's go into the weekend. Maybe not going all in on altcoins at this point. I do advise you as a friendly advice. Give yourself a little or give it a little look on the crypto markets on Saturday night and Sunday night. All right, somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 8 p.m., 10 p.m. and set your alerts. Make sure your phone is on alerts ringing or alerts notifications, because maybe and just maybe if things are playing, if they play out as I'm assuming they're going to be playing out, maybe we could be getting waked up at, I don't know, midnight on Sunday, right? So turning on to Monday, so morning Monday to into a possible trade setup. All right, so that might be a flash setup. Be very careful. Have fun today, right? It is Friday. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic plan. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And see you guys next time. Bye-bye.